Hello there, everyone. My name is Christopher Spencer, and I am an initiate in the Tau Beta Pi organization at Wayne State University. I am aiming to teach you today how to make a simple hexagonal bolt in Simon's NX, which is a computer-aided design or CAD software. This software has a variety of tools that will help you in your engineering curriculum and allow you to model and prototype various projects. So I'm going to start by opening NX. As you see on the screen here, I'm in VLab or VMware Horizon Client. So as I open this, there are a few things I want you to pay close attention to. So when I open a new file by clicking New in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, there are two things to be aware of. One is your units. So in this case, I'm choosing inches. You will really want to be sure that your inches are consistent between parts, not only making sure that your parts fit together, but also choosing the same unit for each part to make sure that they fit together properly in your assembly. The other thing to be aware of is what folder you're saving it to. As you can see here, I've chosen to save it to desktop because I can either upload it to Google Drive or email it to myself after I close out the VLab so that I have my part file in safekeeping. So now I've opened up a new workspace and I have the datum coordinate system in front of me. I'm going to begin by inserting a design feature, in this case a cylinder. Obviously screws are cylindrical. So I'm going to go to File, Insert. I'm going to go down that drop-down menu to Design Feature, and I'm going to select Cylinder. Now I have to specify the vector that will serve as the major axis, the longitudinal axis for the cylinder. In this case, I want the positive z-axis. And then I have to select the point for the center. In this case, I just want the origin, so 0, 0, 0. Usually it defaults to that, but in this case it didn't, so I had to make sure I had that correct. Now I need to input a diameter and a height for that cylinder. So the diameter is going to be 0.25 inches, and the height will be 1.5 inches. No Boolean necessary here. So when I click OK, I see I have a simple cylinder here. Now I'm going to repeat that action and create a small step cylinder on top of this first cylinder. So I need to specify a vector once again, and I'm going to make that the z-axis once again. And for the point, you can either manually click the point if it lets you, if you hover the cursor over as you see me doing there. If I were to click and select that, the edge of cylinder, it would automatically choose the center of that top circle as the point. I'm going to just manually enter 0, 0, 1.5. And now I'm going to again specify diameter and height. So in this case, I'm going to be using 0.387 inches for my diameter, and my height will be 0.0156 inches. And once again, I'm going to choose none for my Boolean, and that is going to be important later on. So now I need to create the top hexagonal portion of the screw. So what I'm going to be doing is creating a sketch. So as you can see, there are a couple options. You can go into menu, insert, and then sketch a polygon that way. Or if you just choose the icons in the upper portion of your screen here, that toolbar, you can do that as well. So as you can see, I have selected the top surface of the top cylinder, that little step cylinder that I made, and I've selected the origin on that plane to create the sketch. Now I am going to specify the point that will denote the center of the polygon, and I've selected just the work part origin. Now sometimes doing a sketch this way isn't as effective. As you can see, I experienced a bit of a glitch here where the sketch window closed. What I like to do when I create a new sketch that I'm going to extrude is create a datum plane. So I'm going to do that now. It will be a bit more effective for our purposes here of creating that hexagonal top. So I've just created a datum plane with a distance of 0 from the top. And now I am going to sketch a polygon on that. So as you can see, there's the purple datum plane sitting just on top. So I'm going to go to Insert and Sketch Curve, and I'm going to select Polygon. Or I can select Polygon in the toolbar. I'm going to select the Sketch Origin. Now, as you can see, as I hover my cursor on the screen, I can just click where I want the polygon to be, but that's a risky maneuver if you're trying to be precise with your dimensions, so I'm going to manually input them. So the side length that I'm specifying is 0.246 inches, and the angle of rotation will be 0 degrees from the x-axis. And as you can see, now I have a green hexagon on top of my screw. So I've just hidden the datum plane from view to make everything a little bit easier to see. And now I need to extrude this piece. So there are a couple different ways you can do that. You can type the X key. You can use the drop-down menu to find the extrude feature, as I've just done, or you can select the extrude tool in the toolbar. So the curves have already been manually selected for me. Those are just the 6 sides of the hexagon. And the vector along which I'm extruding has already been defaulted. If it hadn't been defaulted, you would just select Z-axis, and I'm going to denote an end distance of 0.1875 inches for the extrusion. So I'll hit OK, and now you can see I have what is beginning to resemble a bolt, and there's a nice hexagonal prism right on top of everything there. So I'm going to switch to the static wireframe view, just to show you everything we have so far. So we have the step cylinder underneath there, which is visible, the bottom cylinder, which forms the shaft of the screw, and then we have the extruded hexagon up top. So now we're going to create another cylinder inside, and the reason I have it on static wireframe view is so that we can see this as we construct it. So, I want the center of this next cylinder to be at the center of the top of the step cylinder. So you can do that by manually typing it in as I've done, or you can select that outer arc. So that circle that's at the top of the step cylinder, if you select that arc, then you'll be able to have the center automatically selected for you. So now I'll input a diameter of 0.387 inches and a height of 0.1875 inches. And again, I will leave the Boolean as none, and I will hit OK. So you can see now I have another cylinder that is totally inside the extruded hexagonal prism. You can see that again in the normal view, shaded with edges. So next I'm going to insert a sphere so we can round out the top of this bolt. So I'm using the type center point and diameter, and I'm going to specify an appropriate central point. So here again I will be using the center of that circle at the bottom of the sphere I've just sketched. So as I described earlier, I've just selected the edge of the cylinder, and it automatically selects that center point for me. So we have that all set. And now the diameter has already been input from me working through this part previously, but you would input a diameter of 0.55 inches. And now we're going to use the intersect command. So what this will do is take the target body I select, which is the extruded hexagon, and basically trim away the excess that I don't want to have. So if I've just hit OK now, and you can see no sphere appears, but you can see the curvature along the side of the upper edge here that would have been the outside of the sphere. It's just trimmed away that sharper top edge. So now we have what really resembles the top of a bolt here. And the last step is to add threading. So I'm just going to give you a good look here at what we have. And we're going to go to Menu, Insert, Design Feature, and we're going to go all the way to the bottom where it says Thread. Now, this tool is a bit tougher to navigate. Not everything is so obvious. So first of all, thread type. We want detailed thread type here. That's what I would prefer. Now, for the rotation, do we want right-hand or left-hand threads? Which way do we want to turn the screw when we drive it into something? So we know the standard is righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, so we choose right-hand for rotation. We select the screw shaft so that the proper part of this receives the threading. We're just going to leave the default there. And now we have threading. So I've saved the part. This is the finished product. And you can use this for any variety of assemblies you might be putting together. Hopefully you learned some valuable tools and you can apply this in the future. Thank you so much.